Okay, I guess that explains that. So obviously you see them doing that little thing and then holding it up to their chests, and I'm like, oh, it's just like a measuring thing? Full-on fan service? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of the Apothecary Diaries. As per usual, we come back with a board and some notes, so let's go ahead and start with the board, where I have two different little things of notes for the board to go over. First off, I added Luen, connecting him with a white line to Basen, and then I connected Basen to Lihaku with a green line because it's technically the first time they've met. Now then, the other thing is you might notice this little new addition to the board, where I'm specifically only covering jinshi, and I'm going to read something that I wrote to Griffin, those of you who remember Griffin from the channel, because I wanted to make sure this made some sort of sense, and Griffin doesn't watch the show, so I thought what I'd do was throw it at him, see if, from the outside perspective, it made any sense at all. And Griffin said, I think so. Brother pretending to be the son, maybe conspiracy around it? Which, yeah, fair enough, that works. But more specifically, I want to read what I wrote to him because I think it's the most coherent version. I might have a future note about this, but I think this is the most coherent version of this that I put to pen, as it were. So much fucking conspiracy. Former emperor was a pedophile, got the empress knocked up, and had the son that became the emperor. Later, the empress sexually assaults the former emperor and ends up having a second child with him. At the same time, her son, the soon-to-be emperor, has a child with one of his consorts. The doctor there then switches the babies. One of the babies gets killed to poisoning and negligence, the other one being raised by the emperor's consort, which is in fact his brother. Jinshi is raised as the brother, but is in fact the emperor's son. However, in the current episode I'm trying to keep track of, he is in disguise at an event as Kusen, who someone refers to as the Crown Prince, implying the Emperor's son, which Jinshi actually is, but isn't in the view of everyone that believes him to be the Emperor's brother. Lots of other stuff about who would know the Emperor's son is actually dead, Jinshi pretending to be older than he is, if he actually knows Adu is his mother, other things, just trying to make the board get the basics out there. So yeah, that is what's going on here. Anshi and the former emperor have the emperor, name unknown. And then, of course, they have the other child. And then the emperor and Adu have their child, who then, the whole thing about poisoning, honey, etc. But then this kid, I guess, would be over here, is the one that dies. No, there. See, that's what I'm saying. I know fucking everything, and I'm still in the process of trying to tell you, getting it confused. So much shit. This is a middle of the day TV drama. Either way, Jinshi, Kusin, same person. But Kusin is supposed to be the crown prince, whereas Jinshi is supposed to be the emperor's brother. And I guess at the end of the day, maybe my whole argument comes down to crown prince means the son of the emperor, versus the emperor's brother would not be called the crown prince. Like, by every stretch of the definition, that's not how that gets applied. I hope it makes sense. It's on the board now, so it will always be there to look at, just like these are, even though this no longer applies to anything as well. Anyway, I know I sound exasperated. Don't believe that. I love it. I love that there's this level of confusion because I can talk about it forever. And I've brought it up every other note section, I think. This is my kind of show. So, yeah, that said, though, I do come back with notes, and again, some of these notes are going to reference the thing we just talked about, but I had to put that down because I wrote that to Griffin, and I think that was like the best version. Just a stupid little notice. In the opening, when Maomao puts her finger to her lips and points up, the changing locations behind and around her finger have all now been seen. It's the place Jinshi did his dance, the alleyway between the buildings, the trees around the north side of the rear palace, a shed that the sick girl was sick in, and then the place behind the waterfall. I gotta think today's episode will be the new opening, as I think this was the last thing we've seen everything in the opening now. So Ba-Sen has the suspicion that Shishu might have nothing to do with this assassination attempt. I think this is important specifically because Ba-Sen has expressed strong negative feelings towards Lu Lan and Shishu in the past, so you would think he would have a strong bias towards wanting to point the finger at them, but he isn't, which should be a clue that someone else is responsible. I think the default guilt likely still falls on Shishu until other likely culprits can be determined, as he is the lord of the region and Jinshi is here because of him. We don't know anyone else here that has any motive. The suspicious part of my brain wants to lean back to Gyokyo and trying to tie a connection to her based on the conversation Jinshi had to get Maomao back. But I don't think anything was said there regarding this trip. How much incense does Jinshi use that he dove into a stream of water, pushed through a waterfall, and wrung out all of his clothes, and Maomao still comments that she smells the incense? I think Maomao's somewhat comment hits harder than you'd think because a lot of her insight seems to come from years of working in the pleasure district. Meaning, if someone were to be in the know to make that sort of judgment, someone you've been trusting on these matters before, it'd be her. I will say, the one thing that escapes me is why she's so against acknowledging the information. Her closeness to Jinshi, while implied a number of times to not be that publicly known, is known by a lot of characters that we do know. Meaning, if anyone were to try and get information on Jinshi and went after the people close to him, she's already a target. Trying to not know stuff isn't going to get you out of that danger zone. The only benefit I can think of to not knowing is being prescient enough to know that you'd break under torture. So not knowing would at least prevent you from giving information you would otherwise give. The FIFA were the latest models from the West, as Jinshi indicates. I believe I connected the dots last episode to say that when Shishu was meeting with the envoys, after one of them snuck out of the palace that they were staying to meet with Shishu, that was happening. They brought the guns with the caravan, sold them to Shishu, who then brought them back up north with him to use there. We have too much of a direct line of evidence that the show has shown us, I think, for any sort of red herring to be afoot. At worst, they could try and pull the overlapping circles of things, all happening at the same time, that Shishu meeting with the envoys was about something else, and it's unconnected to this. But for now, this is predominantly the only trail of information that explains what is going on. So Gao Shun angered the Empress in the past. Unsure if that is something that we've covered before. I wonder if Lu Men is going to come back into play, because if she ordered him to become a eunuch and he didn't become one, someone must have helped him. I guess the same thing with the Jinshi. They are pretending for a reason, and that must mean that they have, are getting help from somewhere. I imagine Shenlu could be helping, but I think a lot is going on with Lu Men that I still need answers for. And this would drag him back into the active circle of stuff. I'm still calling him Jinshi, regardless of Kusen or Kazagutsu. That's actually my last note, but I have the other note that I was talking about for the thing that I sent to Griffin. But I wanted to get that off the top of my head because it's a nothing note. I'm just calling him Jinshi no matter what. So, wait. Is Jinshi both the Emperor's brother and the Crown Prince? Like, I mean, he fills both roles already, but not, like, at the same time. Jinshi is supposed to be the Emperor's brother, as per the flashbacks we get from Anshi, but also the whole baby swapping thing. But more importantly, as Kusen, he's supposed to have a burn scar on his face and is referred to as the Crown Prince, meaning the Emperor's son, I take it. But technically, he is the Emperor's son in reality as well. So while we knew he was both of these things, we now know they both have their own personas, which raises even more questions. Like, where does Kosen come from? Du's child died, the whole honey thing. People know that. Despite not knowing that he was actually the Emperor's brother, which means that is who Jinshi is pretending to be, right? A grown-up version of that kid, but that would also need the Emperor to be on board with the ruse and for Shishu to not know about it. It's so confusing. Then Gao Shun says people are wondering if the Emperor's younger brother is fit to take on the throne, referring to him as the main guest. The Crown Prince and the Emperor's brother have to be two separate roles. Jinshi and Kusen have to be different people. I think Gao Shun is just being confusing. Either way, those are all of my notes heading into this episode. I believe the next time on said this was going to be a bathhouse episode, so I'm expecting at least 50% of this episode to either indicate towards something that's going to happen in the future in the way that they do, or is just going to be fan service. I don't know. Either way, nothing left to do here but hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
New opening, just like it called. No lyrics, though, to analyze, because I don't think we've gotten lyrics in a single one of these. It's on me. It's on me and how I get these, but, you know. Okay, Naruto mask. He's part of the Anbu Special Black Ops team. Oh, is Lee Haku coming back with his face blindness? Obviously, I know we all really want to hear the opening. We all really want to see the opening, but as per my normal thing, I have to talk over the opening for copyright reasons. Well, I mean, that was just the waterfall. We were literally already there. Oh, God. I'm actively trying to break down the opening as I'm watching it, but we all know I'm coming back with notes. Come back with notes to try to apply this stuff to stuff we've already seen and see where we might be going. That was a very Furin element to that one. I don't know what's up with the masks, unless we're going to like a ball during this thing, or... See, Lock-On would just have blurred faces or represent... Well, that was Lock-On right there. And that guy from the warehouse episode that we never came back. I guess we're getting more of these two as well. Also the hairpin that we haven't seen since season 1. There's a bunch of nervous people getting orders. Oh, it's her. I mean, that's quite clearly, Assassination Girl. Starts with an S. My name, my brain. Okay, whatever I thought was going to be a filler episode, it seems as everything is afoot. I guess this is the back half of the second season. This is going to be it for a while.
そう、あと半年で高級の年季明けるからさ。実家がお金持ちの女官なら縁談が来たりするけど、うちは違うからさ。ママをなんかつてない？
I mean, what about all the money you've been making?
出会った頃は噂話ばかりしていたシャオランも、今は手習い所の一期生として勉強に励んでいる。高級を出てからもいい仕事についてほしい。紹介できると。
I don't know, to be fair, I miss the gossipy girl. She kind of let us know what everybody was thinking.
花町の六商館で歓迎されるのは若くて器量の良い愛嬌のある娘。
Oh, please no.
幼さが残るが顔立ちは悪くない。何より素直な性格はしつけがしやすい。やり手ババアなら欲しがるだろう。しかし妓女は生半可に進める仕事でもない。私のは最後の最後、どうしてもって時のつてかな。
何それ？
I mean, unless you want to be like the guy at the front desk. Just do, like, paperwork and stuff.
シャオランを厄介ごとに巻き込むかもしれない。
どうしたの？お、シスイ。ねえ、いい働き口知らない？
So my problem with remembering who the assassin girl was is like half the girls I know in the show, all their names start with a shh noise.
といえばあるかも。本当？あるというか、作りに行くというか。
Of course you do. You're Lulan. I 100% believe that I'm right. That she's just actually Lulan.
湯をたっぷり使った湯殿は高級ならではの贅沢なものだ。一度に1000人も入れる広さがあり、大浴場の湯船には数百人が一度に浸かれる。上級妃はそれぞれの宮の中に専用の浴場を持っている。
You never noticed before how much Li Hao actually looks like Jinshi if you just don't know what you're looking at.
下女たちが使う大浴場だ。六商館の浴場は当たり前のように使ってたけど、庶民は水で体を拭くくらいだ。下女が風呂を使えるのはそれだけでありがたいよな。シスイ。
Oh, that's rude. Even I know that's rude.
早い時間のお風呂は暑いに決まってるでしょ。だんだん冷めてちょうどいい温度になっていくんだから。いつもはもっと遅い時間だから知らなくて。何？ママ。
いや、シスイって気痩せする方なんだなと思って。
As I said, fan service episode.
つい癖で。
ねえシスイ。
This is the Apothecary Diaries version of a beach episode.
ママ、私もそれちょうだい。
どうぞ。
何それ？
医局にあった洗髪剤。
You know, I almost thought we were looking at completely different people. Because Zhao just looks like a stranger with her hair down.
目つぶってて。犬みたいだな。この辺あんまり暑くないよ。
I mean, so my brain went on a whole tangent without my mouth moving. Just the oddity, you know, of having to take a shower before you get into the bath, but it's like, it's a public bath, so that makes a lot of sense in actuality.
それでシスイ、つてっていうのは？
あ、そうだった。
Here, let me get out of the bath again to go show you the connections.
ダメだってば。こっちはキサキ専用だよ。入っていいの？大丈夫。入っていいし、つてはこの先にあるんだから。
ははん、なるほどね。
Yeah, I think this is just proving that I said about her being Lulan is correct.
あら、新入り？はーい。よろしくお願いします。これ、こういうね。少し強めにお願い。わ
Because
かりました。
I don't think it specifically proves that she's Lulan, but it proves that she's good at disguise
これ
and tricking people.
じゃあ、失礼します。もう少し右。
この妃、帝のお手つきがないんだろうな。お手つきがあれば嫌がらせを警戒して見ず知らずの下女に体を触らせたりはしない。
I guess she doesn't shave that much either, unless that's something that's supposed to happen here.
細かいことが気になるんだよな。戻りました。
それ何？
糸です。
何に使うの？
こうやって糸で毛を絡め取るんです。お試しになりますか？うん。痛みは大丈夫ですか？
結構痛いけど、生黒なカミソリよりマシね。
Okay, I guess that explains that. So obviously you see them doing that little thing and then holding it up to their chests, and I'm like, oh, is this like a measuring thing? Full-on fan service?
なるほど。こうやって普段お近づきになれない妃たちと知り合う。これが止水の言ってたつてか。
マッサージって結構疲れるね。あの後、列ができてたもんね。この間までやってた女官が年季明けて辞めちゃったとこなんだ。
へえ、止水よく知ってるね。
その女官
Of
は
course, because she hangs out herself.
そのつてで今は妃の実家で働いてるんだって。そっか、そういうこともあるんだ。こういう使わない櫛とか首飾りをくれることもあるよ。
Sorry, that just looks like the comb from Record of the Lotus War.
止水は抜け目ないな。下女が湯殿を使えるのは2日に1度。その度に他の妃をマッサージするために長居するなんて本にゃん様になんて言われるか。よーし、つてを探すぞ
まあ、湯殿でマッサージを？
はい、知り合いの下女の付き合いで。ダメですよね。はい、わかってます。
あら、いいじゃないの、本にゃん。
Can't go against the mistress, right?
気が緩んで思わぬ話が飛び出すものよ。宮中の噂話とか。マオマオ、面白い話があったらぜひ聞かせてね。
We just covered that the other girl used to be gossiping all the time, and now we're invoking something else to get our gossip.
確かにここではいろんな話が聞けるんだよな。玉葉様ご解任の噂はとうに広まっている。男か女か、いつ生まれるのかというところまで噂されている。ちらほらとリファ様もという話が聞こえてくる。だけど
She's done a better job of hiding it, I guess.
ローラン妃も解任しているのではという。
No,
もしかして
not happening.
と思うのよね。いっつも奇抜な服を着てるじゃない。でも最近めっきり外出が減ってるし。
That's because everyone just fucking picks on her all the time.
ローラン妃が来て半年以上経つ。先代から仕える高官師匠様の娘として鳴り物入りで上級妃になったのだから、帝も通わないわけにはいかない。
Which is a huge fanfare, actually
上
mean.
級妃4人のうち3人がご解任か。めでたいというか物騒というか。
ねえ、足もっと強くして。はい。あー、すっごく気持ちいい。あなた、次はいつ来るの？はい、
あさってです。
I mean, that's an in. Gotta admit, that's an in.
ここの噂話でよく聞くのが、
あそこにいるかな。一人かっこいいカンカンが入ったんだって。見てみたい
Oh,
な。
I would have thought it would have meant
どっかで
jinshi.
聞いたような話。
噂で聞いたんだよね。新しいカンカンが30人も増えたんだって。
新しいって、
Well,
もう
from the
簡単
opening
に
of the
なる手術は
episode.
やってないんじゃなかった？
元奴隷だよ。奴隷？もうこの国にはいないんじゃないの？異民族の奴隷だと思う。他国の人間を虚勢して。
Yeah, real weird that the stuff that Anshi has outlawed
そこから逃げ
is
出した
still
か。
all over the goddamn place.
30人もいるってことは大規模な討伐でもあったんだろうね。
シスイって虫にしか興味なさそうに見えて結構賢いんだな。
お風呂の湯汲みって新人の宦官の仕事だよね。噂の人いるかな。いいの？宦官だよ。でもかっこいいんでしょ。まあ人士様ほどじゃないと思うけどね。
Again, I mean, he's the top rank, right?
別に。
そういえばマオマオって人士様とよく一緒に。
妃の使いでね。
マオマオ？
考えるな。あれはカエル。カエル。ん？あれはなんでリーシュ様が？
Look, I might be able to miss Li Shu in a crowd sometimes, but for some reason, Kunan is just like in my head.
なんか睨まれている気がする。休憩中ですし、お召し上がりにな
Well,
ら
they
れ
got
ては。
the hair color thing like they said they would.
質問があるんだけど、あなたどういう経緯で翡翠宮に仕えているの？
どうと言われても、人手不足の翡翠宮に毒味として使わされただけですが。
それは聞いたわ。私が知りたいのは、なぜ疑り深い玉葉があなたを信頼しているかということよ。
姉様。
つい呼び捨てにするほど仲が良かったのか。だったらそばにいる怪しい女官が
Well,
気
we
にな
know
る
that
のも
they're
当然
sisters
だ。
from the
私はただ
west.
の毒味
Yeah,
役です。もし玉葉様
from
に
the same
毒を
town
盛ら
that
れたら
Yokio comes
私
from.
が先に死にます。そういう役割のものと割り切っていただければよろしいかと。
聞いてはいたけど、本当にさっくりした性格ね。
はあ、ありがとうございます。
それと、外にお友達が多いようだけど、ほどほどにしてもらいたいわ。慣れない
Keep what
公
under
共で
control?
先輩の女官がよそにばかり行っていたら寂しくなるじゃない。特にうちの末っ子の石油とあなたは同い年なんだから。
I mean, y'all look like the same age.
最近はシスイやシャオランとつるんでばかりだ。毒味役がフラフラしてたら不審に思われるよな。でしたら今日湯殿に一緒に行きませんか？
湯殿。
いいかもね。石油もたまには私たち以外の子と付き合った方がいいわよ。
I don't know if it's that suspicious
湯殿に行く
if
の
you've
は
got the
玉葉
trust
様
of the
の命
lady
があったん
herself.
でしょ。
そうですね。
国姉様。仕事と思って行ってらっしゃい。この子がマオマオのお友達ですか。それはなんなのこの人たち。
害はありません。多分。
今日はそんなに大変じゃないよ。他にもマッサージやる子が増えたんだよ。
そうなんだ。
串とかもらってるの見て興味持ったみたい。
これまでやってた女官はうまく隠して
It's very surprising people aren't like looting this place. Like, I understand
着替えないのですか？
着替えるわよ。
there's a lot here. It's just the fact that Maomao came here, like, went through some stuff, pulled out a thing. No one's guarding this place.
つけるのってこれだけ？うん。中ではこれでも暑いよ。恥ずかしがることないよ。おお。十分立派じゃない。立派って何よ。つつましやかな方がいいじゃない。
Wow, that was a backhanded insult.
そんなに恥ずかしがってこれまでどうしてたの？姉様た
たちはこの大風呂を使っているけど、私は玉葉様にお願いして宮の湯殿を借りてるの。西の国は砂漠地帯であまり湯あみの習慣ないし。
まあ恥じらう余裕もなくなりますよ。
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the majority of this episode is actually, I'm not gonna say filler, but I will say fan service.
こういうお願いします、石油様。
石油様、こちらも。
塗りたくることくらいできますよね。
塗りたくるの？
はい。鶏肉のように塗りたくってください。
Because the element,
口が軽くなりますから。
わかった。
the element of very specific stuff might have longer lasting, implications down the road, but I doubt the technique of smearing oil is going to be an important element.
あれはリーシュ様、この前も見かけたけど。
Very clearly not pregnant.
こっちの湯殿にわざわざ来たら周りが萎縮するんじゃ。
Unless Kunan seems so jittery.
リーシュ様。
ああ、もっと使える次女はいないのかと思ったけど、そもそもあそこの次女は。
Come on, Kunan's really turned everything around.
まあ、あれなら萎縮されないか。リーシュ妃は弱い15で。
She seems real sympathetic at this point.
帝はネアに通っていない。まだまだ気弱なお姫様というわけだ。どうぞ。
ありがとうござ。
また人を化け物を見るような目で。少しは慣れ
Like, I know why Kunan would be. Why would Lishu?
カミソリ負けしてる。リーシュ様。
Oh, puberty.
試してみませんか？
I mean, that would explain a bit of it. Not from Kunan, though. I don't know why Kunan would be this way about this.
リーシュ妃、どうして上級妃がこんなところに？
I mean, Kunan's older. I think? She definitely looks older.
優しくしますから。
Something feels weird, non-right. And I don't mean like about the tone, I mean like about watching this. I'm not the former emperor.
リーシュ様はあまりこういうのに慣れていないのでしょうか？
ええ、そうですね。金剛宮ではみんなあんまり細かいことは気にしませんし。
Yeah, because they're a bunch of fucking assholes over there. As I said, Kunan is like the best of them now, ironically.
選定がなくなって出家した後にまた妃にされて皇宮に戻ってきた。よくよく考えるとかわいそうな身の上だな。元は毒味役の彼女が次女頭になってよかったのかもしれない。せっかくなのでついでにどうぞ。
Oh, there you go. Kunan got a raise was the only word coming to my head. That explains why she's constantly showing up, considering that I kept thinking she was the tester.
ところで、リーシュ様はどうして大浴場にいらしたんですか？金剛宮にも湯殿があるはずでは。
それは。
テルの。
Haunted or bug or animal?
あのミアの湯殿には
Haunted. It's always fucking haunted. I mean, despite the fact ghosts aren't real, and we keep proving it over and over again. Except for that one woman who I just think was a different lady, and not actually the dead person. Okay, new ending as well. Obviously, I have to talk over the ending too, but the endings don't typically give you anything to like lead into the rest of the show, so I'm not like that super concerned. Hell, I remember there was that one ending that was Jinshi sitting on a windowsill with a sword, and I don't think that ever came to. There was no payoff to that. Yeah, I think, as I said, I think I was wrong in the other direction. I think this was a massive swing towards a fan service episode. I can only think of, in my head, like 5 minutes of content that I think is going to be like stuff to look forward to, not before to look out for in the future. Which is to say, we have what's her name showing up again, Assassin Girl. We have indications to what's going on in the Diamond Pavilion. We have indications what's going on with the consorts in particular. None of that was what shampoo, how to make connections. Like maybe the specific connections are going to matter, but I think the people that they indicated the connections were happening for are just nobodies, NPCs. Okay, legitimately, I think it's going to be smoke and mirrors. We saw a mirror there. She's opening a window. It's usually happening in darkness. We already covered a whole ghost episode this season. Now we're doing another ghost episode. Seems kind of odd. Other than that, though, yeah, I got nothing. Unless the element of who is the ghost, and it turns out to be somebody important to the plot that we then investigate the backstory of. So, like, who. I don't know that matters. I was about to say who was the diamond. Sorry, not the pure, not the chase. That's not even one of them. Anyway, who was in Li Hao's position? Sorry, Li Shu. Who was in Li Shu's position before she was? And it's like, well, that would have been somebody before the previous emperor. So, as I said, that wouldn't matter. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird. It's just this episode didn't give me anything. The last episode was very much just about what Jinshi said and what Jinshi wanted to reveal. And beyond that, it was just another assassination attempt that we didn't build up for as much as we did the first one. I think the element here is that was the culmination of an arc that just didn't build itself up as well. And now we're starting a new arc, which means that we have a couple of episodes to get through that aren't themselves going to do much, but perhaps put out a couple of clues for something that we're not going to be able to tell is on its way until, we're further on into the arc. The worry here is that this is the second half of the second season, and I haven't heard anything about like a third season coming out yet, or if there is even going to be a third season. So whatever we're gonna do, whatever end that we're reaching, it's gonna be like the Mushoku Tensei thing, right? We're gonna get left off, and then there's gonna be a long period of time until something else comes out, if something else comes out. So I'm hoping that we reach an ending that I'm gonna be satisfied with, or at least happy to wait with. Because I'm still remembering how season 1 ended, and I do not think that if I wasn't watching this, I started watching obviously when season 2 was on its way, so that when I got here, season 2 was already over, essentially. I do not think that if I was watching and season 1 had ended and there was nothing coming, I don't think I would have been happy with season 1's ending. Because it was obviously a keep watching, more will come. It's like, yeah, I don't need you to tell me that. Just tell me more. Give me a trailer for season 2 and yeah. So I don't want that. I don't want that to be how I'm going to end this. Anyway, I don't have any like specifics to talk about because again, there was nothing big here. this is going to be like a bunch of small notes, and I think that's going to be it. You know, unless I discover something that I didn't notice in my rewatch. That said, though, we do have Maomao's notes, so let's go ahead and hop into that and see what she has for us. I assume it's either going to be shampoo or hair pulling. Alright, 100% wrong. I just never know what they're going to talk about in these things. Like an episode where guns show up and we talk about dog sense of smell.
もう遅いよ。湯殿に行くよ。
ごめんごめん。
あれ石油様は
先に行くって。またひっぺがされるのを恐れたか。
そういえば、今日も脱毛の予約いっぱい入ってるよ。
I don't know what depilation means.
ここでマオマオ
I've never heard that word before.
糸脱毛は近隣国で古来より行われていた脱毛方法。産毛の除去だけでなく、肌表面の老廃物や
I was
古い
right.
角質などを少ない負担で取り除くこともできる。
So I said this would be about, but the thing said modesty.
マオマオって
That's not what this is
薬のこと
about.
だけじゃなくて美容にも詳しいんだね。
花町にいたからね。
もしかしてつつましやかじゃない胸にする方法知ってる？
え？気にしていたのか。
Oh yeah, the comment that she made.
つつましやかな方が身軽で虫も捕まえやすそうだし、
She knows the ways of the world. She knows what she's talking about.
つてを作ると。
次回、踊る幽霊。今度は金剛宮で騒動が巻き起こる。
Sometimes they hint about what's going to be in the next time, more so than the next time on does. It seems like we just aren't on that path anymore. 'Cause I remember there was times where her and Jinshi would talk, and it would add more context to the episode we just watched, and indicate more about what's to come in the next episode. This was just a funny little, oh, I made a slip of the tongue. I don't like that. And then Turmoil returns to the Diamond Pavilion. It's like, yeah, no shit. Saw that the next time on the other one. Anyway. Again, not really much to talk about here. Other than the fact that I don't think the guy who's translating this, by the way, thank you for translating, obviously. Because if you didn't, I would have no other place to get these. But the element that you put modesty down, and I think that was like 5 seconds of this, just indicating that she got here early because she didn't want to be stripped. Otherwise, it was about hair removal, and a joke about chest size. So, yeah, nothing to do with modesty. I think that was a bad call. Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be one of the shortest ones I've ever done. Other than the part of the beginning when I was doing my notes and that little board thing I did, which probably added more time to the episode, I think this would probably be like a 35-minute reaction if left to just commenting on what happened in the episode itself. So yeah, apologies for that. But, I got nothing. I got nothing until I come back with notes, I guess, and hopefully future me will have seen something in the episode that I missed. So, until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?